Hey, it's Dan. Welcome back. You're watching iAllegedly, and I've got a good one for you today. I had a quick trip to Vegas, had a bunch of meetings here, and starting my morning out with you guys. But it is freezing here, guys, and I am ice cold right now. And so much to cover, but there is a tax that is so unbelievable that I cannot believe we haven't heard more about this until now. But you're going to get taxed to death. And there's so much to cover about this. Please take a second. Please hit the like button. Please subscribe to the channel. Also, join the email list, guys. We have an email coming out this week. We haven't had one since the end of the year. Haven't had one out in 2023 yet. So it's coming out this week. So sign up for the email list. The link is below. Now, think about what I'm about to tell you. Dolores always sends me cool stuff. She's in Canada, and she went through the malls and a bunch of vacant sales, and you're starting to see retail completely collapse. That's one thing. But she sent me a kind of a kiosk billboard inside of the mall that said, hey, be ready for your vacant house tax. The city of Toronto has come up with a tax, and the tax is if you have a vacant house in the city that sits vacant for more than 6 months, you have to pay a 1% tax in the value of the house. This is insane, guys. This is in addition to your property tax, in addition to all the expenses. If you are rich enough that you have a vacation home, or let's just say you're old and you guys, we like to travel and go stay with the grandkids when it's freezing in Canada, because Canada sucks, man. Canada's cold. Unless you're into hockey, it is 40 degrees out here right now, and I am losing my mind because I left the hotel without my jacket. My fault. Anyways, could you imagine living in Canada, and if you have a vacant home that sits vacant for in excess of 6 months, you have to pay a vacant house tax? That's crazy. I mean, they have billboards, they have all this stuff set up to ram this down people's throats, but this tax went into effect in 2021, and it took 2 years to finally implement. And guys, it's crazy. It's nuts. So think about this. If you are having major construction on the house, you can get an exemption. But there's also a filing fee that if you don't file it on time, there's an additional $250 penalty that people have to pay. Guys, I'm telling you, I don't know where it ends. And with the economy taking a serious downturn right now, you're going to see them not get creative, get desperate, because that's what this is, getting desperate. Oh, look, the little wedding chapel area. We can get married today. Isn't that great? So I have an announcement to make anyway. No, I'm kidding. Anyways, think about that, guys. Think of owning your house. You know, they're limiting the Airbnbs. They're limiting the vacation rentals. They're limiting what you do with it. But you need to let us know that the house is vacant, because this is going to spur more sales activity. What if you're retired? What, you know, who is it for the city of Toronto to tell people that they need to sell their homes? You know, think of the tax implications. If you've sold a property, you know what goes on with that. It's a pain, guys. You know, but to be told that this is going to spur, you know, houses, it's going to get better deals on houses. I think they're insane for doing this. But I almost didn't believe it until I looked it up. Read the article below, because it is Looneyville, guys. It's absolutely nuts right now that people are going through, and they're going to try to do this. So anybody live in Toronto that has been subject to this, share that with us. But the idea with it is that it's going to get more people to sell their houses, to bring down the price of houses, and bring up the demand for and bring up more inventory. I think it's crazy. I think it's absolutely nuts. So, you know, share your thoughts on this. But what this does, what this tells all of us right now, is that they're so desperate. These people don't run businesses. They've never made a payroll. They don't know how to make a payroll. They don't know how to sell things. They don't know how to advertise. They don't know how to innovate. They know how to steal from you, which is what the city of Toronto is doing to people by stealing from them. And if you think this is bad, I mean, think about it. You know, you see me walk through those areas in Newport Beach. Those are some people's third and fourth and fifth houses. And lucky if you can get it, Dan. Okay. You know, great. But the point is that it gets kind of Looneyville. at some point when they start coming up with these taxes. The other thing is all the massive layoffs that are coming up. Share your thoughts on that Toronto thing, because it's insanity. Absolutely one of the most insane things. When she sent it to me, I didn't believe it until I read it, and you have to read it because notice it's not on mainstream news. You're not hearing it that way. Okay. So much is happening around the globe, but you're seeing massive layoffs, especially in tech and especially in high-end tech workers. And once again, guys, when I said these are not baristas, these are not fry cooks, I had people write me and say, oh, how dare you slam baristas and fry cooks? Come on, guys, okay? You pick your fights, pick your battles, you know? Get a realistic argument if you want to start giving me a hard time, because that's not it. It's kind of funny. But the tech workers, which I found this to be entertaining, we gave Google 20 years of our lives and we got fired by an email. What do you guys expect? You guys don't talk to anybody. The tech people work alone. The tech people are not the most vocal people that go out and hang out and socialize. So what do you guys want? A better, a deal where they brought everybody in and, hey, everybody on the left side of the room, you're fired. What? Can I stand over here? No. Okay? It's not American Idol, guys. It's life. So they got fired by email. Great story below about how my life is, we are disposable. We're terrible. These tech giants are. Yes, you are. And everybody needs to understand that if you have this attitude, and I was just telling the story this morning to somebody over coffee, and that was, I had a woman that's written me a bunch of times, and I said, you guys need to prepare in case things turn south. It's about a year ago. My husband's vice president at Microsoft, he's never going to get fired. A week and a half later, the guy got laid off. Okay? So, get realistic, guys. Set your plans. Make sure you have everything in order right now, just in case. So I'm so sorry for the people that lost their jobs. Don't take it wrong. What I don't have any sympathy for is the way that they did it. How would you want them to do it? You guys don't want the tech people I deal with. I love you guys, but you want to make somebody uncomfortable? Have a meeting with the tech. Hey, I insist that we do lunch. Most of them are not social people, okay? So it's very sad that they lost their jobs, but I don't know how else they were going to do this. So share your thoughts on all that stuff. There's a man, Ton, okay, guy's name is Ton. There's an article below about him buying his Tesla, and I felt pressure from the salesman to close the deal. And when I ordered my Tesla, they said I had to take delivery early, and I really regret that I took delivery because they told me I would lose my spot in line if I didn't take delivery early. And then guess what happened, guys? Tesla came out and lowered the price by $13,000. I didn't get 13 grand off. So that's funny to me, okay? Because again, you can say no and you can not take delivery of the car, but now Ton is upset because somebody paid $13,000 less for the car. Have you ever had that happen? It does. Now, speaking of Tesla, Elon Musk and Jamie Dimon, there's a great article below about this, where Jamie Dimon, okay, blue blood, New Yorker, okay, country club loving, he's the man, okay. That guy steps forward and says, listen, I want everybody to understand that we need millions of barrels of oil a day in this world to run our lives and to take care of everything. For you to say that we're just going to get rid of oil is lunacy. It's absolutely stupid. Then Elon Musk steps forward and doubles down on what he said, and they both agree it's going to take 50 years to go green. 50, which that seems realistic, okay? Most of us won't be here in 50 years, but that would be a realistic time frame. No, yeah. It's not a realistic time frame. We need to do it today. We need to fix it now. If anybody, again, if you've run a business, hey, let's implement this. Everything that's rushed, 99% of the time gets screwed up. It's when people sit down, plot, plan, strategize, and move forward. You can do that quickly, but when you plan and you innovate and you say, we're going to implement this and do this, that's how things work. It's the people that just jam it down their throats. And this green hole deal, I mean, it's a mess, guys, right now. It really is. And if you look at places like GM, how they're quietly building the V8 engine still, oh, okay. It's fantastic, guys. So share your thoughts on this stuff so far and let me know what you think. One thing I keep getting questions about are the different uranium companies I've talked about. Think about this, guys. I'm not giving you financial advice at all, but think about this. The world supply of uranium, there's not enough of it. And there's going to be such a demand for these electric cars that it's in short supply right now. You have to look at the demand from China. You have to look at Russia. You have to look at Canada and how much uranium is there. But look at the two companies that I talked about recently, which is Fission 3.0, FISOF is their ticker symbol, and Traction Uranium. These guys, they have projects right next to Fission. 3 projects that are right next to Fission. Their ticker symbol is TRCTF. And again, do your own due diligence on these companies, but it's very exciting right now, guys, to think about inexpensive mining companies. Look at Bob Kudla, who loves to come on the show, but the one thing, if Bob said if I could invest in one thing, it would be uranium. Look at the management team of those companies. Fission, Devon Dawa. I'm telling you, this guy's going to be the rock star of uranium coming up, and he is just a master at putting together brilliant teams, raising money. But take a look at those two companies, guys, FISOF and TRCTF. Do your own due diligence. I'm not giving you financial advice, but those are the two companies that I talked about lately. And they have projects right next to each other in an area that has a tremendous amount of uranium that's being mined right now. And the likelihood that this is going to continue is exponentially increased because of that. I'm looking for critters. Oh, look, there's just birds out here right now. It's very cold out here right now, so always get a kick of who hangs out. The wildlife presentation has been canceled, I bet. I love walking over here, guys, and seeing this area. So many people didn't know that this was even here. One other thing that you guys have asked a lot about is different grants and small business grants. I found a bunch more for you. The link will be below. And the advantage to a grant over a loan is that you don't have to pay it back. And you can sit there and say, nobody ever gets those grants. Yes, they do. The record, I've had so many people get 1s and 2s on the channel. The record is 4. One woman got 4. She got a couple $100,000 that she does not have to pay back, which leads to my next story, and that is, it is January 2023, and this is the month that everybody has to start paying their EIDL loans. The average EIDL loan, guys, is $100,000 right now. These people have to pay back, what, $800 a month, $1,000 a month, whatever that is, at 3.75% for 30 years. It is like having a mortgage forever. There you go, 30 years, guys, unless you want to pay it off. And I understand that people needed this money during this time. The one thing that I am always telling people, and I just had this conversation over dinner last night with somebody, is that, you know, people want to borrow money for hey, let's get it, let's go pay off the bills. They want to put the fires out, and then they still owe the money, and sometimes the relationships with the people that they borrow the money to solve the problem doesn't get solved. In other words, if you have a supplier problem, whatever, need inventory, need to pay old bills, people go out and borrow money. The problem with that is that you owe the money. This is 30 years, guys, that these people borrowed this money. And I have more and more people reaching out going, what do I do? Company's closed. You are screwed. You have a huge problem right now because, if the company's failed, you open yourself up to a Department of Justice investigation. If the company goes bankrupt, it's bad news, guys. They're going to investigate how you handle the finances in this, and you're just not going to be able to discharge the debt in bankruptcy. That's the big problem with it. The other thing is that even after you pay the loan off, you've got a 3-year window where they can audit you during that time. So that's something serious to take a look at. So people are starting to pay this back now. It's going to put a serious strain on it. Now, I've had people write me saying they're going to forgo those debts. They're going to forgive us all. They're not. Not these. There will be an uproar if they do that. The PPP loans were a debacle and were handled in such a way that single individuals got these loans and still had mismanagement, huge amounts of fraud. So, very interesting, guys. So, share your thoughts on this stuff, guys. Do you know anybody that's got the EIDL loan that's in real trouble? Because I do. And I had a lot of people reach out about that. So let me know what you guys think about this. I'm always amazed that people don't get more upset when certain things happen, especially with retail. Sainsbury stores, they just announced that they're going to close 237 of their pharmacies. And you can say, oh, big deal. You can go to so-and-so pharmacy. Whenever this happens, guys, this hurts the elderly. It really does. The infirm, people that are sick, and from dealing with having to have the pharmacy. You know, when my girlfriend was sick originally, we had 24-hour pharmacies. You could go, and I made many a 1:30 a.m. trip to go deal with that. That closed. I mean, there was basically one, and it was such a pain in the neck, I almost said it, to deal with the 24-hour pharmacy that was open, that it just made it impossible to deal with. So this is horrible. And it's going to affect the worst people in the UK. And you're seeing this more and more and more. The retail crime is a problem. The retail crime is not getting better, it's getting worse. Walgreens last week with their announcement that, hey, our security guards are for show. You know, no, you need to have deterrence, okay? Detroit has Philadelphia, has areas where they hired cops, retired cops that are armed at the gas station. So there's no robbery. And guess what? Crime went down. Oh, okay. What a thing. Now, I don't even know if this is true or not, but I got sent a story that they're thinking about changing the $100 bill and putting Walt Disney on the $100 bill between 2023 and 2024 to celebrate Walt Disney and the Disney Company. That's insanity, guys. Ben Franklin, flying a kite over that one. But have you guys heard that? Is this true, or is this story completely bogus that I have in the video description below? But Disney. I mean, Disney played such a huge role in my kid's life and in the Disney Channel and going to Disneyland and having year passes that I wouldn't go there to save my life right now. Okay? That's what I think. So share your thoughts if I'm off on that one. But let me know. Walt Disney on the $100 bill. Okay? There's a reason enough to turn your cash in. So share your thoughts on that one. A couple of great stories about how people's fuses are really short right now. And you're seeing more neighbor on neighbor crime where neighbors are sick of each other and they're fighting over the most ridiculous things right now. Once again, I think that people that are miserable financially get upset with things easier. The neighbor's boat is too close to my house. The neighbor's fence is too high. The neighbor grew some trees. The neighbor cut my bushes down. All this stuff. But this is getting towards violence with these people. Lawsuits, craziness. Have you guys ever had a neighbor that was crazy, that did that? I just think it's escalating completely out of control right now. And you're seeing more and more problems with this that nobody wants to really address. And again, guys, I'm one of these people. Prepare financially right now, because what's coming is going to be much worse than 2008 through 2011. That's what I think. And if you're ready for it, if you're prepared for it, if you have a vacant house, you should be ready financially. Which, again, doesn't that just eat at you? Hey, your house is vacant, you have to sell it. Okay? No. How about none of your business? How about I have 14 vacant houses? It's just absolutely crazy. Pool area is closed over here again. Great article about how millennials feel that they're absolutely screwed in buying houses right now, and that they're absolutely doomed when it comes to this. They're going to try to do things like 40-year mortgages. They're going to try to do teaser rates. I'm getting all this stuff sent to me of, listen, you can have a home loan for 2 years. 24 months, guys, comes and goes really quickly. Think about that. So share your thoughts on this stuff. Let me know what you think. Now, we've talked a lot about the debt ceiling. They're floating out the idea of printing a $1 trillion coin again to solve the budget problem. Think about that. Printing money, this will fix it. Hey, we're going to print a coin that's worth $1 trillion and lock it in the U.S. Treasury, and that will solve the debt ceiling problem. Think about how insane that is. Think about how worthless your paper money is if they do this. It's ridiculous, guys. It's absolutely ridiculous. Look at gold, look at silver, do what you want to do when it comes to that stuff. Great article about CNN about how they're having such massive layoffs right now. I mean, good. The media industry, Vox is laying people off, CNN. Chris Cuomo's got a new gig, and he says, I will never be what I was at CNN. No, you're still a jackass, so don't worry about that. Everybody knows that. But you'll probably never make as much money as you did for those idiots when they're paying you $12 million a year or whatever that disgusting salary was. Again, isn't it funny? This channel, okay, Economic Ninja, other people like us, we get bigger audiences than CNN does. And plus, you know, we're much more handsome too. Okay, final story, guys, is, and I'm humble too. Have you guys noticed that? Anyways, final story, guys, is a guy talking about dog walkers that make $100,000 a year. I was at Seal Beach about a year ago. This guy was walking 7 dogs and got a quick video of it. And I was like, oh, that's a real talent. And the guy's like, I have the greatest job in the world. I work 4 hours a day. And the guy's making well over 100 grand a year, walking on the beach, talking to girls, and walking your dog. So please, don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. The email list, guys, sign up for the email list. First thing below is the email list, and an email will go out this week, I promise you, okay? Onward and Upward, guys, reach out, and thank you for the bingo game, because we're going to play it. We're going to implement that, okay? Onward and Upward, guys. I will see you guys very soon.